Good morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. My name is Dontaira Terrell. And,
Thank
yes, of course. And I'm so excited just to dive right in. You have so much going on. So, first, I want to talk about season two of Just Angela.
Yes,
So, yeah, congratulations on season two, actually.
thank you.
Of course. So, with season two of Just Angela, what insights do you hope audiences gain into who Angela Simmons is that they maybe, didn't get a chance to receive in season one?
I feel like as anyone, there's many layers to individuals. And so for season two, this is just like the next layers of Angela, what I couldn't do in season one. And quite honestly, it's like being in a relationship. You never get to fully know a person. It just takes time. So, in this season, I'm doing some dance stuff. I'm doing some cooking stuff. I'm doing some spiritual stuff, tutorials on makeup. I mean, everything that I possibly could think of this season. But it's just getting to know me and me sharing some tips and what I can give you guys, that I've learned along my journey.
Yes. And speaking about, spirituality, as an entrepreneur and working mother, you have your hand in many hats. So, how do you stay sane and sustain mental clarity throughout your day to day life?
That is the magic question I get a lot. My clarity for me is my gym time. That is my getting away time. That's why I created Built Not Bought. I just feel like it's mind, body, and soul. And it's something that I do on a regular. And you have to make time, whatever that looks like. Some people it's yoga every day. Some people it's strength training. Like for me, it could be boxing, whatever form of sweating I'm going to get in. I'm doing that plus sauna and whatever else. But it's finding the me time, it's finding the meditation time, it's finding the prayer time. It's figuring out where in the day is there time for yourself. Because every 24 hours you have to find something. I don't care if it's 20 minutes. We're not too busy for ourselves. And so that's my main thing.
I just learned that, and I'm actually learning that. Taking, some time for meditation, prayer, reading a chapter in the book, it's like my mindset just totally shifts when I just sit with myself for a little bit. Or sometimes I'll just grab my journal and be like, you know what? I'm feeling some type of way. And then I feel so much better.
It's like a dump, exactly. Writing and dumping your thoughts is great.
Of course. And, congratulations on your move to Georgia. And I'm
Thank
curious, how is Georgia treating you?
New, it's different. I've left New York. I feel like such a cheater. But I like it. It's country. I like the country. There's that part of me that's always existed. So I'm feeding the inner country girl in me. My son loves it. So I'm happy.
And I feel like that's most important. Your son's happy, you're happy. And if your son is,
Exactly.
and look, speaking of motherhood, in your own words, can you describe what motherhood means to you?
Motherhood. There's no textbook to it. There's no book to it. I feel like, with motherhood, it's everything. It's definitely a different type of hood. It has its moments. It has its great moments and it has its emotional moments. You watching your child grow. Like I can't believe my son is 5 already. I didn't expect for it to go this quick, but motherhood is one of my top priorities. Like I moved to Georgia behind my son and wanting him to be able to developmentally grow the right way. Um, Motherhood is just top tier. I mean, it's the most rewarding, right? Because you get to watch your child grow based off of your virtues and your values, and then they also become their own individuals. So it's like that you're going to do your best until they're on their own, and then they become their own little human beings and do what they're going to do. But motherhood is love. I mean, it's love. When you think of the word love, when you have your child, the amount of love that you're going to put into your child, there's no comparing it.
Does your son sometimes do things that surprise you and you're like, wait a minute? And like
All the
he's growing into his own self and
all the time. All the time. He's so interesting. I mean, he's into like furniture design, cooking, and it's so many parts and qualities that his father had that I'm like, that's crazy because it's not like he got, his dad passed at 2 years old when he was 2. So it's like he didn't get to like know him. So for him to like have those qualities already, I'm like, it's not me. Like some of it, I'm like, okay, that's totally me. He's silly, but then like he's got all of these qualities. I'm like, you like designing like your room, like you know what you want to do. You're 5,
Right.
insane. Opens up furniture books, like it's wild.
Yes, that is insane. That's a beautiful thing, though, that he's, still has
Yeah.
his characteristics and qualities and traits. So, how are you sort of nurturing that relationship with him and his dad, although his dad is not here physically, just to make sure that the legacy is still alive and his memory is still alive?
Well, we're here in Georgia because of that. You know, his father's side of the family is here. He's with his grandmother all the time. His father's sisters here, like, so he'll really get to know everything that I can't tell him. Obviously, his family's going to know way more than I could ever know and tell him and teach him about his father. So we keep it alive. We talk about his father all the time. I like to keep that apart so that he doesn't have to question, what he doesn't know. I like to speak on it. Your dad like that. It's like your dad.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I'm glad
Yeah,
you got that and he has that relationship with the family. And
thank you.
yeah, and speaking, grief is not a linear journey. So how have you learned to manage the complexities of grief, especially sometimes when it hits you out of nowhere?
Allowing it to be what it's going to be, but then also making sure that your healing process is you're nurturing that. Like I did a lot of therapy after he passed because I couldn't fathom a lot of stuff, and therapy really helped me like get to a stable place where I was like, okay, I can do this now. Because right after you're like, I don't want to do this. Like, why would I want to raise my son alone? Like, as much as you're there, like you're mentally in another space when you're dealing with grief to that degree. Like that was the closest I've ever seen death. Like, obviously, other than losing family members, but like, it's something I have to live with. Telling him every day his dad's not coming home for him. So it's the constant being able to get therapy and like walk through that.
Therapy is such a game changer. Ooh, I didn't know I needed therapy until that probably the third session. I was like, where has therapy been all my life? And why am I just now signing up for this?
Right. It's a lot that you think you know about yourself, but you neglect it. So it's important.
For sure. And I know you like to go to the gym. I know you're into beauty, health and fitness, but what else does Angela Simmons like to do in her spare time?
I don't have no more spare time. My main thing is I love beaches. So anywhere that's tropical, you will find me at a beach on a boat.
Mhm.
That's if you put me on a boat in my spare time, I'm happy. I'm a happy girl. If you let me sit at the beach, I'm a happy girl. So anything tropical, that's where you'll find me.
And you know what? Speaking of tropical, you recently posted a picture of you in a bikini, and you were talking about how you said, I embrace every flaw in my body. For years, I was hard on myself, hard on my weight fluctuations, even with working out and being vegan. So, how did you get to this space of body acceptance to embrace your flaws and not be so hard on yourself?
Everyone has flaws. I think it's important to embrace where our flaws are, but also loving them. You don't wait till you get to a point of I think everything's perfect. You know what I mean? Like it's like you start in this moment of like truly loving yourself and you really for real have to like embrace yourself and really like go with it. And not to say that you can't have goals and know where you want to go or what you want to do, but starting in this moment, not let's rush to the finish line, and every year may look different. You have kids, you stress, this, that. You've got to embrace it, but making sure you can live the healthiest lifestyle possible, you know?
Yes, I feel like a lot of times as women, we're very self-critical on ourselves, and
Most definitely.
I had to learn to speak kindly to myself, because
Your body can hear that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you also touch a little bit this season on dating, and you're single since everyone was asking. So, what do you look for or are looking for in a potential mate?
Oh, it's such a long list. When I get asked that question, I'm like, like somebody spiritually grounded, somebody that is stable mentally, financially on the right track as far as like their career, someone loving, someone that would be an amazing asset to my son's life. I think that's important. There's just so many things I could be here for a while speaking on it, but the positives, what's going to work, someone who can be a great partner for me, someone who can really step up, and I want to be a great partner for them. It just has to fit like a puzzle piece.
Yes, because we're not forcing
No,
people
no,
to like
no, no, no.
and this is actually my last question. So, with your family's legacy, many people, may have varied assumptions about your journey to success. But despite your family name, can you speak to one of your greatest trials you've experienced on the path to building your own empire and how it has shaped you into the woman you are today?
There's so many. I mean, I think the biggest thing is learning how to just go out on the edge and do things without, just going for it. Sometimes I feel like people fear, what if I fail? What if it doesn't go right? And what if it goes right? And even if it doesn't, you're allowed to try as much as you want. Like there's no one with a rule book that says you can't keep going. So it's like, why? Who are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for to approve what you're doing? That's the biggest thing I think in this time, day and age, everyone is looking for approval. I don't look for that. I don't go off anyone else's rules. It's important to do it your way.
And I am so proud of you and just for doing it your way, because
Thank
also
you.
being that you're a public figure with a lot of followers, sometimes some people might assume that you need that acceptance or validation. So the fact that you're doing it on your own way, your own journey,
Thank
look,
you.
of course. Well, this was great. Congratulations again. I really appreciate it. And you
Thank
enjoy
you.
the rest of your day.